make sure that everyone is having the calculator with you. Without calculator, it will be difficult. Anyone is not having calculator, please tell me. I'll give you the calculator also. Shiva, you have the calculator, right? Everyone has it? Pakka? Sure. So the question looks like this. 5, 11, 6, 7, 9, then 21. These are the values. So the first question, and the best part is, for each and everything, we will be using the same question. For arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, then median, mode, whatever it is, we will be using the same question. So first one, people, get me the value of arithmetic mean. Everyone, get me the value of what? Arithmetic mean. How can I find arithmetic mean? There is nothing but summation of x divided by n, which is equal to, what is summation of x? That is all the individual values we need to add. 5 plus 11 plus 6 plus 7 plus 9 plus 21. The entire thing divided by how many terms are over here, people? 6 terms are over here. So how much is the answer you are getting, people? How much? 9.83. Something is not still there? 33333. Let it be there. Okay. Because this you will require in the future. When we find mean deviation, standard deviation, all the time we require this same value. So it is important to know that. Then people, with the same question, can you find me the value of harmonic mean? HM. What is the formula for HM? N divided by summation of 1 by x. Correct? So n is how much over here? N is nothing but 6. So 6 divided by, Pakka? Is it too loud? Audible, right? Properly audible, not too much, right? Yes. So 6 divided by 6 summation of 1 by x. That is nothing but 1 by 5 plus 1 by 11 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 21. Now, if you ask me, people, how can I use memory calculation to get the answer? First, I will find the entire denominator. How to find the entire denominator? In calculator, I will write 1 divided by 5, m plus 1 divided by 11, m plus 1 divided by 6, m plus 1 divided by 7, m plus 1 divided by 9, m plus 1 divided by 21, m plus. Then once you click MRC, you got the entire value in the calculator of the denominator. So how can I take the reciprocal now? Divide equal to, multiply it with 6. How much is the HM you are getting, people? 7.903. Pakka? Everyone got it? Then GM I am not asking right now. Why? Because usually we use the which method? Option hitting method. That's why I am not telling you to do GM in the option hitting method. But can I solve GM in the normal way? Using our calculator trick. What is the GM formula first of all? There is nothing but x1 into x2 into x3 etc. Entire thing raised to 1 by n. That is nothing but what, people, over here? 5 into 11 into 6 into 7 into 9 into 21. The entire thing raised to what? 1 divided by how many terms are there? 6 terms are there. People, do you know the method to find this? Without option hitting, do you know the calculator trick to find this? Whenever the power is fraction or decimal, we have a calculator shortcut, right? Can I do that? First of all, everyone find this product in your calculator. 5 into 11 into 6 into 7 into 9 into 21. You got some value on your calculator, right? How much you got, people? Some huge value you got. Let it be there. Don't do anything. Let it be there. Then power is decimal or fraction. Root, how many times? 12 times. So everyone take your calculator, click root 12 times. Everyone do that for me, please. Yes. Everyone done that? After that, what is the next step? Minus 1. Next step is minus 1. Then into the power. That means into 1 divided by 6. That is the next step. Now we are going to do the opposite. Minus 1's opposite is what, people? Plus 1. Then what is the opposite of root? Into equal to x. How many times you are going to click that down? 12 times. So how much is the answer you are getting on calculator? How much is it? 8.7348. Done. So even without option, you can use this particular method of our calculation whenever power is fraction. That can also be done. Okay. Now, how much was our AM? 9.33833. How much was our HM? 7.903. How much was our GM? 8.7348. Pakka. From this, when values are unequal and positive, what did we study? What is the property? A is greater than G is greater than H. Is it correct? 9.83 is greater than 8.73 is greater than 7.90. So using a single question, these many things we have studied. Okay. So our mean is completed. Now we are going for what? We need to do median. Correct? So this one I'll just copy. Then I'll go to the next page. I will just paste the same question without even changing the question we are going to do. People, get me the median value. Many people will make a mistake now. You will forget to arrange them in the increasing order. So how much is the increasing order? Which is the first number? 5, 6, then 7, then what, people? 9, then what, people? 11, then what, people? 21. Anything we missed? No. How many terms are there? 6 terms are there. That means number is how many? Even. Correct? N is equal to 6. That means N is even. So how to find the median? Average of the middle two values. 7 plus 9 divided by 2 is our median. How much is it, people? 8. Everyone got median. Can anyone find Q1? Quartile 1. What was the method for finding Q1? 1 by 4 into N plus 1th value. Correct? So that is what? 1 by 4 into N is how much? 6. 6 plus 1 is how much? 7th value. So how much is it done? 7 by 4 is how much? 1.75th value. Okay, 1.75th value is our Q1. So people, that is nothing but first value. How will you write it? First value plus 0.75 into next value is how much? Second minus first. How much is it? First value is how much? 5 plus 0.75 into second value is how much? 6 minus how much? 5. So how much is the answer? 5.75 is your answer. I hope that everyone understood how to find Q1. Then what else you want? Decile you want? What decile? Any question? Give me a question. We will do that same question with decile. No, you always say 7. Decile 2. Let it be decile 2. So that is how much? 2 divided by 10 into N plus 1th value, which is nothing but 2 by 10 into N plus 1 is how much? 6 plus 1 is 7 value. That is how much, people? 1.4th value. That is nothing but first value plus 0.4 into second minus first. How much is first value? 5 plus 0.4 into second is how much? That is nothing but 6 minus 5, which is nothing but how much, people? 5.4 is your decile 2. Now percentile I am going to find. P80. 81. Okay, 9 square. P81 is how much? 81 divided by 100 into N plus 1th value. That is how much, people? 81 divided by 100 into 7th value. Can anyone tell me how much is exactly is that? 5.67th value. Correct? 5.67th value means 5th value plus 0.67 into, after 5 who is there? 6. 6th minus 5th value. Now tell me, people, who is the 5th value over here after arranging in increasing order? Fifth value 11. 11 plus, everyone tell me, 11 plus 0.67 into, sixth value is how much? 21. So 21 minus 11, which is how much, people? 11 plus 6.7, right? How much is the answer? 17.7. So we found percentile also. We have everything, people, if you ask me. So we've studied quartile, median we found what else? We found percentile, decile, everything. Then people, can anyone tell me what is the mode? For the same question, can anyone give me the mode? What is this? No. For this question, what is the mode? Is there any mode? There is no mode. Why there is no mode? What is the reason for having no mode, people? Why? Because none of the numbers are repeated. So answer is what? No mode. Okay. None of them are mode. Now if you ask me, we have done mean, all the means, then median, decile, partition, everything we have done, and mode also we have done with respect to ungrouped data using a single question. Can we go to dispersion? How much time we took? Very less time, if you ask me. First question based on dispersion. What was the first dispersion? The range. Can anyone tell me what is the range? Largest minus smallest. What is largest? 21 minus 5, which is equal to how much, people? 16. So range is this much. Can anyone tell me coefficient of range? Largest minus smallest divided by largest plus smallest into 100. That is how much, people? 16 divided by 26 into 100. How much is it? 61.53%. So coefficient of range is also completed. Next we studied mean deviation. How to find mean deviation, people? Mean deviation formula. Remember. Summation of modulus of x minus x bar divided by n. Now people, we know the x bar value. X bar was how much? We found it to be 9.83. That is enough, because since it is recurring, you can just conclude it over there, 9.83. So how to find it, people? First x value is 5. So 5 minus 9.83, which is a negative value, you will click M minus on calculator. Then 5 second value is 11 minus 9.83, which is a positive value, M plus. Then next one is 6 minus 9.83, which is a negative value, you will click M minus. Then what, people? 7 minus 9.83, which is a negative value, you will click M minus. Then 9 minus 9.83, which is a negative value, M minus. 21 minus 9.83, which is a positive value, M plus. Then MRC divided by how many terms are there? 6 terms are there. How much is the answer for mean deviation, people? How much is it? Everyone got 4 pointer? 4.11. Check. Since till everyone gets, you check. Check. With calculator only you can say yes. Otherwise, no. Check using calculator, everyone. Everyone got the same answer? Please check. Yes. Got the same answer? So, this is our mean deviation. Why did I click M minus, people? Just for our calculation sake. Since modulus is there, we need to write it as a positive value. Negative, in order to write negative as positive, you should click M minus. Then, coefficient of mean deviation formula is what, people? Coefficient of mean deviation is what? Mean deviation divided by x bar into 100. Mean deviation is 4.11 divided by what, people? 9.83 into 100. How much is the value? 41.81. Everyone got it as 41.81. So we found coefficient of mean deviation also. What is the next one? Standard deviation. Standard deviation, what was the formula for ungrouped? We can use either two formula. We will use the first one. Summation of x minus x bar the whole square divided by what? N. Now, x minus x bar. First x value was how much? Let me paste it over here. Let's see. Yes. Which is the first x value? 5. So, everyone take your calculator. 5 minus 9.83 into equal to M plus. Why into equal to? Because square is there. Then 11 minus 9.83 is our mean into equal to M plus. 6 minus 9.83 into equal to m plus 7 minus 9.83 into equal to m plus 9 minus 9.83 into equal to m plus finally 21 minus 9.83 into equal to m plus. Then you will click which button? MRC button on your calculator. Then divide it with how much? 6. Then click equal to, then click which button? Root button. How much are you getting? 5 point? How much? 5 point? 5.36, huh? Yes. So that's how you found standard deviation. How to find variance? What is variance? Square of standard deviation into equal to, you will get the standard deviation square, that is variance. Then what is coefficient of variation? What is the formula for coefficient of variation? Standard deviation divided by x bar into 100. That is nothing but 5.36 divided by x bar is how much over here, people? 9.83 into 100. How much is the answer? How much? 54.52. Yes. Okay. Done. Everyone got the same answer? Yes. So we found 3 measures of dispersion. What is the final measure? Quartile deviation. What was quartile deviation formula? Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. People, if you remember, we already found Q1. How much was Q1 we found to be the? Q1 we got it as 5.75. You can write it over there. Q1 is nothing but 5.75. Can I find you Q3? How to find Q3, people? That is 3 by 4 into n plus 1th value. Correct? So 3 by 4 into n plus 1th value means 3 by 4 into 7th value. How much is it, people? 5.25th value. Which was the 5th value after arranging in increasing order? If you go and check over here, after arranging in increasing order, 5th value is 11. 6th value is 21. So you can write it as what, people? That is 5th value is 11 plus 0.25 into, which is the 6th value? 21 minus 11, which is how much, people? How much? 13.5. Everyone got it as 13.5. Once you have Q1 and Q3, how to find QD? QD is nothing but, people, that is 13.5 minus 5.75 divided by 2. How much is your answer? How much? 3.875. Then, people, what is the relative measure of QD? Coefficient of QD, which is nothing but what, people? Either you can use it like this, quartile deviation divided by median into 100. Why? Because we already have we already found both values. QD is how much? 3.875. Median is how much? 8. If you remember, median was how much we found it to be? 8 only, right? Yes, median was found to be 8. So divided by 8 into 100. How much is the answer? 48.48. Yes. So think, people, with a single question we have solved all the properties. That's how you should revise. If you ask me, this is the method for revision on the last day of examination. Will you go and check each question, each property and all? It's impossible. You will not be finishing in 1.5 days in order to revise everything. This is how you should revise, people. That's why from day 1 I am showing you how to revise a topic. This is actually, we are aiming at that 1.5 day revision. Then, people, in order to add on, what was the formula connecting SD, QD and MD? QSD is equal to 2.5, MD is equal to how many QDs? 3 QDs are there. Yes. Done. Okay. Done, people. So that's your what? That's your small revision of our ungrouped data. Okay. Ungrouped. Tomorrow we will have for grouped data. For everything, median, everything. There is separate formulas and all, right? We will use it tomorrow and revise the entire part. If any doubt is there with respect to this, please ask now. Then what was the formula connecting mean, median and mode? Me, mo is equal to 3, me. That is what? Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. Okay, that is also important. Then what was the formula connecting geometric mean, arithmetic mean, harmonic mean? G is equal to root of A into H. If so, everything is done. Each and everything is done with respect to ungrouped. Tomorrow we will have a revision of grouped. Okay, just revise. Anything is there with respect to you, you can ask me now. This is your moment. Please take the time and ask the doctor.